Good morning, students. How are you? I hope all of you are good. Okay, so in the mathematics, you know that we have three branches. One is arithmetic and algebra and geometry. Is it arithmetic, algebra, and geometry? Okay, so in this geometry, can you notice who is this? So is known as a father of geometry, and his name is Euclid. Euclid is known as a father of geometry. So why is called as father of geometry, and what is his contribution to the field of mathematics? So and all this we'll see in this class. So in today's class, let us study about Euclid's geometry. Let us study about Euclid's geometry. Let us study about the Euclid geometry. Okay, so before going for Euclid geometry, let's see a brief history about this mathematician Euclid. So he is known as a Euclid. Okay, so Euclid, he born in the mid 4th century BC. Is known for his Euclidean geometry, Euclid's elements, Euclidean algorithm, and many other topics. So name of the topics are named after Euclid, mean after his death. So he died in the Alexandria, Egypt, and his nationality is Greek. So Euclid, sometimes called Euclid of Alexandria to distinguish him from Euclid of Megara, was a Greek mathematician, often referred to as the founder of geometry, or also is called as a father of geometry. He is also known as a father of geometry. So please note this. So Euclid is known as the father of geometry. He was active in Alexandria during regime of Ptolemy. Regime of Ptolemy. Okay. Okay. So here we know what is geometry. So the word geometry is the word geometry, which derived from the Greek word geo, which means earth, and metrian, which means measurement. So we can say that geometry is the measurement of the earth. So why it is called as measurement of the earth? You may see in the geometry you already studied about so many concepts, just like a cube, cuboid, square, rectangle, triangle. Can you see all those figures, all those pictures, three dimensionals of the triangle, rectangles, cube, cuboid, everything in your day-to-day life, isn't? So you may see the walls. So what is the shape of the wall? So it's a rectangular shape or it is square shape. Okay, and we may see that any of the almost whatever you can see as surrounding to you, everything is in the geometrical shape. And even our world is also one of the geometrical shape called as sphere. You know what is sphere? Circle is two-dimensional, but the sphere is three-dimensional of the circle. Okay, that's just like a ball. It look like a ball, right? So that is our earth is also like a geometrical shape. So only we call this as geometry, as actually the Greek derived from the Greek word. We call that as geo mean earth, and metrion mean measurement. So it is a measurement of the earth. So geometry appears to have originated from the needs of measuring lands. So to measure the lands they used it, and this branch of mathematics was studied in various forms in every ancient civilization. In the every ancient civilization, that is in the Egypt civilization, Babylonian, and China, India, Greek, and Incas, etc. The people of this civilization faced several practical problems which required the development of geometry in various ways. So why they faced the several problems? Because for the measurements. So for example, if you want to measure the particular, if you want to divide some property, something in something like that. So how will measure? So we'll take the, for example, if you want to measure the 30-40 side and you divide to the two peoples, then what you will do? So now we know that suppose this is a 30-40 uh, 30 40 corners. So what we can do, so you can divide. So this part is for one person and this part is one person, that is, yeah, this is actually this is 40 40. Why? Because I took a square. Okay, so the measure of this length, breadth, and this is 40 40, and here 40 square feet. Okay, and here also 40 square feet, and also here also 40 square feet. So 40 40 is there. If we want to divide for two persons, how we'll divide? So it is from here to here it is 20, and here it is 40 as it is, and here from here to here it is 20, and here it is 40. So you can give for first person this place and second person this place, so you can divide like this. So now we know this concept and all, but in the ancient days they doesn't know about this concept, so only they faced several problems, practical problems, which is required to develop the geometry in the various ways. Because they faced so many problems, so because of that only they developed this concept, and now in daily life we peoples are using these concepts. Okay, in the classwork you write from here, the word geometry is derived from Greek word, and which is meaning earth, and the metrian means measurement. So all of you keep 200 pages 200 pages long unruled book for geometry classwork. Okay, all of you keep 200 pages long unruled book. Okay, and mention today's written day and write this as a first sentence, the word geometry, and first you write the heading, subject mathematics, and topic introduction to Euclid's geometry, and mention today's date and day, and after that you write this sentence. Okay, so next we'll move to the next concept. In the ancient India also, the Sulabha Sutras were the manual. It is in the 800 BC to 500 BC, were the manuals of the geometry constructions. The geometry of the Vedic period originated with the construction of Vedis, is altars the telling, and fireplace for performing Vedic rites. The location of the sacred fires had to be in the according to the clearance laid down instruction about their shapes and areas. If they were be effective instrument, the square, circular, ultras were used to household rituals. So where ultras whose shapes were combination of rectangle, triangle, trapezium were required for public worship. So what they're telling here, so the ancient India also, in the Sulabha Sutras in the Vedic periods, so in that time also they use this geometrical concepts. So it is not only, I mean, many of the people say that whatever the geometrical concept, whatever the mathematical concept is there, it is all derived from the other countries like Greek, America, like that. But in the Vedic period is our period in India. So in the Veda also, the Vedic period also, they know about these concepts like square, rectangle, all those things. And moreover, many of the discoveries were did by Indians, but it was named by some other Americans, or some especially that Greek, like that persons, they took the name, but that introduction and many of the concept was developed by Indians, but they took the name because of that uh, because of the that British impact. Okay, so now, so this is the only simple thing, just read out this, so you'll try to going to understand this. Okay, next, okay, here you may see a Greek mathematician Thales is credited with a given first known proof. This proof was the statement that a circle is bisected in the sense cut into two equal parts by its diameter. We know that concept now, but this is he is the first person to discover about that. So wherever the circle is there, so in the circle, if we draw the diameter, so if we draw the diameter for the suppose this is the center of the circle, So if we know the diameter for the circle, so this diameter divides the given circle into two parts. This concept was given by this famous mathematician, Greek mathematician Thales. Okay, this proof was the statement that a circle bisects cut into two equal parts by this diameter. So one of the Thales' most famous pupil was Pythagoras. I think you all heard about the mathematician Pythagoras, and this is the in the 10th standard going to study about more about this Pythagoras and Pythagoras theorem. So here they gave only the name of the Pythagoras. So he is one of the great mathematician whom have been heard about. So Pythagoras had his group discovered many geometrical properties and developed theory of geometry to the great extent. This process continued till 300 BCE. At that time, year our this chapter's hero, Euclid. Euclid, a teacher of mathematics at Alexandria in Egypt, collected all the known work of all the known work and arranged it in a famous treatise called Elements. Do you know what the Euclid did? So Euclid not only he is called as father of geometry. Do you know why he is called as father of geometry? All the concept in the geometry not discovered by Euclid, but even though he is called as a father of geometry. Why? Because some of the projects, some of the what is it what is that concept in the mathematics. So some of the works of the Thales, some of the works of the Pythagoras, and some of the works of all other mathematicians. So what he did, he collected everything, all the along with that his work also. Along that his work also he collected. So he collected all the works, and what he did, he make into a books. So he make that as a book. So that books are known as Elements. He divide that elements into 13 volumes, 13 chapters, so each called a book. So this book influenced the whole world understanding the geometry for the generation to come. So the geometry concept, complete geometry concept, is not introduced by the Euclid, but many of the concepts, whatever the concept did by other mathematicians, he collected everything and keep and make into a book. He make into a book, 13 volumes book. That book name is known as Elements. So only he is known as father of geometry. Euclid is known as the father of geometry. Okay, this book influenced the okay. In this chapter, we shall discuss Euclid's approach to geometry and shall try to link with the present day geometry. So in this chapter, we'll discuss about this. Now in the classwork, what you should do, if possible, try to draw this Euclid's figure in your classwork, and also write that year, from year you start. So Euclid, this is the second point you should write in your classwork. Euclid, a teacher of mathematics at Alexandria in Egypt, collected all the known work and arranged it in a famous treatise called Elements. Okay, and he divided elements into 13 chapters called books. Okay, so write till here, and also you write that Euclid is known as the father of geometry. Okay, so now your Euclid definition, axioms and postulate. So before going for that, so here the Greek mathematician of Euclid times thought of geometry as an abstract model of the world in which they live it. The notions like a point, line, plane, and so on were derived from what was seen around them. So from studies of the space and solids in the space around them, and abstract geometrical notions of solids objects was developed. The solids as a shape is, we know that solids as a shape. So for example, what the mobile you are seeing is a solid. It has shape, it has size, it has position, and can be moved from one place to another. Its boundaries are called the surfaces. Okay, we know all those things now, but this and all this discovered by this mathematician. They separated one part of the space from the other, so they are said to have a no thickness. The boundaries of the surface are called curves or the straight lines. So these lines end in point. So in this chapter we completely study in this concept is completely about theory, is a theoretical concept. Okay, so we have more theory in this. Okay, so now we'll see the next concept. So here consider three steps from a solid to point. Solid, surface, lines, point. In this, in each step we'll use one extension, also called a dimensions. So here, so solid has three dimensions, a surface has two lines, and has one and only one point has none. So Euclid summarized this statement as definition. So you write this as definition. So what is the definition? Suppose now how we define this. So this is a point. Okay, can you see this? This is a point. Can you see my arrow mark here? This is point. How will define? Okay, we don't know to define exactly, but here Euclid give the definition. So the point is that which has no part, so it is a point, so we're not able to divide it further. Can I cut this part? Okay, this is okay, wait, we can cut this. So what about this? Yes, see, can you see this point here? Okay, so can you cut this into two different parts? No, it is not possible. So the point is defined as the point is that which has no parts, we're not able to divide it further. So next, line. What is line? So this is a line, isn't this is a line? So how can we define this line? So he defined the line as it is a breadthless length. So can you see so you can see the length here. What is the breadth of this? Breadth is nothing but thickness. So what is the thickness of this? Are you able to measure thickness? No. So he defined it as a breadthless length. So then ends of line are points, and also you can call that as your ends. So your ends are there, these are the ends. You can call these ends as also a points. Okay, then straight line. What is straight line? He defines straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself, which lies evenly with the point itself. So next is surface. So surface, in the sense, surface is what that is what which has length, breadth and breadth only. So for example, so can you see this screen here? So the screen, so it is surface. The blackboard is a surface. Okay, these are the surfaces. And edges of the surfaces are line. So for example, here can you see this board? So what is the edge of the surface? It look like rectangle, right? Rectangle, what does it contain? Lines. So edges is look like a rectangle. Can you see this? These are lines. Can you see my arrow mark? So this red color border, no, wait, see here, these are nothing but lines. Isn't this a rectangle? It is nothing but lines. So the edges of a surface are lines. So next, plane surface. Plane surface is surface which lies evenly with the straight line on itself. So here which lies evenly with the straight line. So like this is plane surface. So these are all the defined by Euclid in his book called Elements. So in the class work you write like this: Euclid summarized, from here you start. Euclid summarized this statement as definition. He began his exposition by listing 23 definitions in the book 1 of the element. A few of them are given below. From here, so whatever then the red mark, you write till there in the classwork. Okay, I hope all of you understood. So the remaining thing we'll see in the next class. So first, what we should do, you should write first you should keep a 200 pages long unruled book for geometry classwork, and you should write in the first, and also you should mention today's date and day, and you should write this: the word geometry comes from the Greek word geo. From here to here, this is the first point. So after writing the first point, so come to the here next second point. Here this is second point. So from here to here you can write, and also you can write this diagram. If possible, draw the diagram of Euclid. And next you can come to this Euclid definition, diagrams and postulates. So from here write this whatever there in the box. I hope all of you understood. Okay, we'll see you in the next video with the definition and the problems based on this. So thank you, have a nice day, bye.